OFC Podcast Radio.
Welcome to OFC Podcast Radio, where every beat, every word, and every laugh is a celebration of our journey. Join Gina the Great, your joy curator, Farrah Hammond Freeman, the head honcho, and me, Queen Kaya, your soul sister. Stay tuned for a dose of melanated excellence right here on OFC Podcast Radio. But before we do anything else, we're going to bless our show and the kings and queens listening.
Blessed melanated rising, my people. I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and our ancestors for creating yet another opportunity for us to be able to be here. And I just asked that today's show, let it be fun, let it be exciting, let it be uplifting, let it be entertaining, but most importantly, let it be empowering to each and every person out there hearing us, tuning in, following, and all that good stuff as we send out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, great health, wealth, peace, and unity. Hotep, amen, ashe, aibobo. Gina the Great.
Mm-hmm.
How has your week been? How is things just treating you on this side of the world?
I'm feeling great. Okay. Life is treating me absolutely amazingly. My week was awesome. It was busy during the week, which was great because I was looking forward to the weekend because I was going to New York. But the week was busy, and so it passed fast, which is great. But then did a quick stop to New York because my cousin's daughter, it was her 16th birthday. So we went down there, and we're going through this. It was a whole production, which, I mean, I don't know what you did on your 16th. I know that's not what I did on the 16th. I was really like, I'm pretty sure on my 16th, I was probably on the train coming back from Toronto for all I know. I know.
Right.
You know, but this was a production. It was a hall. It was a Winter Wonderland situation. It was an all white, you know, we the Black people look good in all white. And it was a whole production. And like, there's this ceremony that it did was lighting 16 candles. And what she pretty much did was just like, thank a lot of the people who's gotten her there. Right. So she lit a candle for her mom, and like, so she gives her speech, you know, her speech, and for each individual or group of individuals. So she did it for her mom, she did it for her dad, she did it for her aunts and uncles, for her godmother, her god sister, her cousin who's like her sister, because like she's the only girl amongst three boys, her brothers. And so she did it down the line to hit her 16 candles, you know, and it was really nice. And she did it for her grandfather who passed away out from COVID, actually, before vaccines were even available. He passed away from COVID in 2020 or 2021. And that was like, when she got to that, and she said it because we were in the car running around. I was running around with my cousin all day on the Saturday. She's just like, when my cousin got out the car, she's like, there's 2 more speeches that I haven't written yet, because every time I started to write it, she would just break down, and I was to her mom and to her grandfather. So when she got to the speech for her grandfather, whoo, that room, like, somewhere like some had the tears coming, but like if you just looked around, you know, when you have all like the water just accumulating,
just
on
the
the
build up by the eyes, and any sneeze is bursting out. One of those. Bro,
like the amount of like, it's just allergies that you would be hearing around the room type of thing. Like it was very heartfelt for that. And it's crazy because, so her grandfather was my grandmother's, like my grandmother was his favorite aunt, so he used to come out to Toronto, to Montreal a lot, and when we were kids. And yeah, so like his kids are the ones that I'm closest to, and then I've just been keeping up, and they keep me up with what's going on, so then I come into town when things go on. Anyway, beautiful evening.
Like, sorry, that's like, I'm still just feeling that. That's deep. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night. I definitely recognize that I have left the new generation. Like we known as millennials, like we're out of that generation, but there was a whole faction of music at some point where I was like, I know none of this.
Wow.
Nor do I know these dances that they're doing.
Oh, no, but also the States be turning up though. The States have, like, I find a whole other wave of.
They do, but I do feel that it's like it's a TikTok era thing. Like they're all doing these things from TikTok, and I refuse to have a TikTok account. Which, side note, there was apparently, I read it very quickly yesterday, so I'll have to look into it, and I'll speak about it if once I look into it more. But apparently they're closing down TikTok in Canada. So they're trying to close down TikTok in Canada. Not that you won't be able to put up content and or go on TikTok, but there's something about it where they're just like, they feel like it's there's security risks with it or whatever. So it sounds like where it looked like, as I was quickly reading, they're looking at closing down TikTok in Vancouver and Toronto, but it's giving very the US, which I'm not in any interest of speaking on that too much today. But anyway, I digress.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah, so
how could we not? Like, our people who were listening last week were like, yeah, they're not going to mention the elections, but obviously our show is pre-recorded, so the elections came after the fact, so we definitely got to talk a little bit about it. But
I mean, I'll let you go, Ham. Enjoy all that time. You can go ahead, you can have it. That's just, I just choose that to not be part of my reality. I'm fine with that.
I hear you.
Yeah. Well, so that was it.
I'm glad, because you went to the United States post-election. It was, the election's already done.
Yeah, week of, yeah.
Yes. And
I mean, he's president-elect, so he's still not the president right now.
Right.
So,
So okay, maybe it's now.
I went to New York. New York's a blue state, so you don't feel any different there.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I should go quick and come back. Maybe quick, come back.
Just maybe you should try.
Before, no, I can't. Before things get weird. But anyways, okay, good. Yes, that's
and yeah, so that was my weekend. Other than that, November is November terrestrial, if you will, is the time of the Universal New Year. So happy Universal New Year, everybody.
Dope. My New Year was in September because I followed the Egyptian calendar, but same thing, whatever.
No, and that's okay. But my guides let me know that from a universal standpoint, in this universe, New Year starts in November. So happy New Year.
Go with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I go with that 100%. Oh man. Yes. And the other thing I was gonna say this week, for that New York drive was really great. Shout out to Alex, my mom's boyfriend, because he did the most of the drive going down, and my phone was being used as GPS and Waze and all that. But like, I have to say, I didn't use my phone. I was just like, I'm just gonna take this time to meditate. Because we left around 5:30, so it wasn't late where you need to sleep. But I was just like, wait,
5:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 4:30 p.m. Anyway, we left
like an overnight. That's a drive. Well, okay, you get in around what, 10, 11, 12.
We got in at 12:30 because we left at 5:30 from here. No, we left at 6. Yeah, we left at 6 and we got at 12:30 because we stopped at the Price Choppers in Champlain to get an Easy Pass. So I don't know if it's newly a toll road or if this road is or they're starting to charge the tolls. But we took the 87 and it pretty much shaves off an hour. So I feel like it was a road that already existed and it's just now it's tolled. So right. So we got the Easy Pass. You can get a prepaid $25 Easy Pass, and so that way you're not charged up the wazoo, because otherwise the charge is like it can be nearly double when it's off the plate.
It's extortion. How scary is that? You ever think about that? Like imagine you don't have enough money to pass the toll to get to work, so it's like,
but you will though, because everything is electronic. It's not even like, it's not pay a toll at a toll booth anymore. It's all electronic, and if you don't have a pass, if you don't have an Easy Pass, they have your plate, so they run the plate and they'll send you a bill at home.
Wow, yeah, it's good. But
it's the same thing. Like if you were going to take the 25, like if you take the 25 and you don't have a pass, like you'll get that bill.
Okay, so it's not like when I'm thinking tolls, I haven't been to New York in years, obviously, so I'm still thinking like toll booths. It's like you ain't getting
a lot of toll booths aren't like they're coming down with a lot of the toll booths. Everything's now is being much more electronic, and so
dope.
If you didn't have it then, well, you'll get the bill.
That's what I do.
But yeah, so it was a lot of manifesting, meditating, just focusing on just how much fun I'm gonna have in this upcoming year, focusing on my travels that I'm gonna do to Japan and my other travels, and just focusing on less about, because a lot of times it's always like, oh, gotta get that money. How are we gonna get money? Let's be rich. And I was just like, I want to more focus on, when I have money, what am I going to do with that? And I want to do this activity, and I want to travel here, and I want to do this in my community. So if I focus on the things that I want to do, if I focus on the end goal, You know, my guides, universe, God is going to put everything in place for me to get there. Forget about how I'm going to get the money. The money's going to come. That's the easy part.
It is.
The hard part is actually deciding what it is that you want to do. Do you know what you want out of life? Do you know what you want to do? And like, I have to say, some of my manifesting in these last few years have been halted because I literally sat there and was like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take the time to think about it, or I'm okay with kind of being in this status quo because, you know, I'm living a good life. I'm happy in my life right now. And I know I needed that time to kind of like focus on doing a little bit of nothing because every year was like, okay, you did this, now what? Like, what's next, what's next, what's next? And I wasn't taking the time to appreciate the things that I have already obtained. And so now I think I'm moving in that space now where I'm just like, okay, I've appreciated it. I've enjoyed it. Now what's next, but let's make what's next meaningful and what does that look like? And so now I need to really manifest that accordingly and feel that and see that vision and know what that vision is. And so I'm getting back into that.
Yo, amen to that, Gina the Great. I guess if I could springboard off of that, because actually what you're talking is reminding me of a conversation I had with Shai. So in the last trip that we took, I was like, yo, do you know that what we're doing right now, I wrote it in my journal.
Awesome.
I'm like, yo, like, I'm like, this is not Pagazal. This is not, I'm like, I literally wrote this in my journal. I said we would do things like this. I was like, exactly this. I was like, exactly what we're doing. Right. And I think at the time she had just finished an interview. We were heading to the beach. I was doing some work on the beach and we were just kind of chatting in preparation to go into the water. And I'm like, isn't that cool? I'm like, yo, and she's like, it's so ideal, so like, you know, surreal. And I was like, yeah, except I totally manifested this. I was like, this is, and you know, and this is my, it's so funny, like everything you just said, and even what I want to share with the people today in terms of a little, call it a life lesson or Pharaoh teaches, but it was in line with making decisions and how to make decisions and stuff like that. But anyways, I'll talk about that at the close. But yeah, but it is really awesome. Like, and my word to people, be very intentional. Like, have a scrapbook, have a notebook, have a journal, and just, guys, don't be your own hindrance. Don't be in your own way. Like, basically understand that you have carte blanche. The spirit wants to give you everything that you want. The spirit wants to manifest, and basically just start writing it out. Start to dream, you know, and that's really what it is. Where the dream and nightmare and reality all clash together. It was in this elections that just passed. It was quite an interesting thing because I'm not even into politics like that, really. And but obviously with running the size of network that I do, I do engage with a lot of people, and our members do have feedback, and a good amount of them actually DM me, and we have a lot of conversations about different things and how people are feeling. And the temperament, it was a very interesting conversation with a lot of different people. Like, you have people who were completely floored, devastated, they don't understand what happened. In terms of how Trump became president. But then you have the flip side where people are just like, yeah, no, I never thought Trump would be president. And I mean, Kamala would have been president, right? And I'm like, what a parallel polarizing time that we're in on the planet. And I think if, as a people, we can accept that everything happens for a reason, and I'm not saying I was for Trump or for Kamala, because again, I'm pretty neutral. Like, it doesn't make much of a difference. I think we would have to accept the reality, quote unquote reality, of what is, and look to the glass half full and prepare. Because if the biggest concern for most people is the fact that they feel like, you know, like he's going to make the world a very uncomfortable space, et cetera, et cetera. If you see it coming, you see the storm coming ahead, bro, get an umbrella, get a jacket, some boots, because it's going to be raining, you know, and you see it coming. And so the conversation, I think I spoke to at least 100 people last week about this. A lot of our members and followers from the United States, actually, obviously they are more impacted than us here. Like, I just, you know, after the doom and gloom and the sad messages and the, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do with myself. My message to them was really just, if you feel like it's about to be uncomfortable, use this time to be proactive. Don't be reactive. Don't tell yourself you're going to sit back and wait and see what happens, because it won't happen in your favor. Whatever you're sitting back and waiting for it, it's like in the back of your mind, you're not just sitting and waiting, you're actually waiting in anticipation of either something positive or something negative, and that's what you're going to manifest. So beautiful people, my encouragement is to aim to be more optimistic about the scenario, although it might be, daunting and whatever's in your face, but know that as a God on this planet, which you are, you actually have the ability to make your reality whatever you want it to be. And like, there's so many very cool scenarios and stories that I could share, and even stories that we have heard other people sharing, where it might be raining on one side of the street for one person, the next side of the street is sunny, and you guys are both in the same area. That just, it is what it is. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have either just left before something happened or got there right after. I'm clueless, and people are like, yo, and it's just like, I don't know. My world really doesn't,
Yeah.
I don't do those kind of things.
You're the master of your universe, and so if you wanted to go that day and not have and not catch any rain, and just have a sunny day, and I'm calling it not catch rain. Then you're having a sunny day. But if you're the person who's caught in the rain, you're just like, how are you so skippity doodah about things like it's pouring out here? Like, word? Because not
not where I am. That's exactly it. So so that is my my word to people, and it's and not to go, and maybe this might be the message for next week, because some people have a hard time with this. Everything happens for a reason and stuff like that, and it has come up even like the topic of abortion, and when little children are transcend and stuff like that. How is that for a reason? We will address that next week, because it's another heavy topic, but it's something that we need to understand as a people and accept as a people, that everything is not always just from our perception. Everything isn't always awesome. In the eyes of the spirit, it is. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's what was meant to be. We just have limited understanding as human beings, so we're not necessarily getting the full download, but it is what it is. So yeah, all right. So enough of the politics and the wolves and woes. Aside from that, I had a pretty awesome week. I'm really excited. I want to drop a couple of hints. So first, shout out to one of our huge partners, Afro-Entrepreneur. Guys, anytime if you're in business and you're looking to scale, you need at least $50,000 to $500,000. Reach out to the OFC. We can connect you with one of our funding partners, which is Afro-Entrepreneur. They are amazing. They are here to help businesses to scale. But one of the cool things I appreciate about them is the fact that they subsidize programs for us. So we have two amazing business programs right now. One being offered by our brother Clark Cadet, who is the OFC's official credit coach. And then we have another one being offered by Ken Ingram, who is also an OFC, one of the official OFC business coaches. Guys, the course that we're plugging right now, starting at the end of this month, anybody who's interested in understanding how to access credit, how to clean up your credit, how to get business financing, the course is normally $300. Thank you to Afro-Entrepreneur. The program is now only $50. Guys, it's very limited space. We only have space to 10, and I think we have 4 registered. So we have 6 more spaces. If you are interested, get in contact with the OFC. We would love to create that opportunity. Yeah, I kind of rhymed it. But anyway, so that's anyway, the point is, I'm super excited because these are all kind of awesome things coming up. And then the same one for the sales program. If you're looking to scale and you want to generate more sales as a business owner, that's the course that we have with Ken. Guys, that course is normally something like $6,000. I can tell you, I took it and it's heavy. It changed my entire life. The course right now is like $8. You definitely want to take advantage. All right. Don't miss on that opportunity. So those are 2 awesome things. The other thing, as you guys know, the OFC membership cards are coming out. That has been really fun, reaching out to all the members to make sure all the addresses are up to date, because when you have such a large network, sometimes you think you got the people's addresses, and then we're like, all right, let's send the address. You're like, that can't not be their real address. This is not. People, we need to stop doing this, all right? If you fill in information, we need accurate information, because now that we're actually sending out stuff, we got to validate and double check that.
I just want to know, when you're saying this can't be the real address, is that because somebody put like 123 Sesame Street?
Exactly. Okay. Like, geez, guys, I have only love for you guys, but come on, this is not helping us. So we're a small team. A lot of cards have to go out. So we're reaching out to the members. Please go onto your own profiles. Just double check that your listing address is correct for me, please, so that it saves us an extra step.
And that's
You
for
know,
those who also like that's I mean for physical, but like I mean, you're not sending out all physical. Some of them are electronic, right?
digital. Oh, very good point. Well, in for this first round, it's 1,000 physical cards that are going out, and that's because we're also doing piloting, we're testing. So for us, we do want to get the cards out. We want to make sure the cards are working. We want to load the cards, all kind of different things. So in this phase, it is that. So it is all physical cards. So yeah, there's 1,000 addresses we're going through live. Oh well, no, some households are getting more than one card. So all right, maybe not 1,000. But the point is, it's been fun. It's been a rock and roll kind of week. So definitely, I want to obviously apply to community because we're doing great. We're at a great point right now. People who are asking, what the card is, why, or like what the benefits of the card. Again, just letting you guys know, it's a membership card. It gives you discounts when you show it. Eventually be able to load money on the cards. When you spend money, you'll get a cash back. And then the third phase, we're actually going to be even doing collective investments where your members are going to be able to load money onto their cards that we use as a call it a paper trail to make sure that we keep track of all the funds. On a back end, we're going to do collective investments. So off the card, we'll be able to pull a certain amount of money off the card, pull it into an investment, invest, make the return, and then redeposit back onto the members' cards. There's going to be all kind of fun things we're doing with this. But right now, this phase, just get the cards out. If you're hearing this, you're excited, you want to just see what the OFC community is about, then we strongly recommend that you connect. The membership is only $20 for the year, and you get your access to your discount card. And there's a one-time $20 initial contribution. So definitely take advantage. Now that's our base. If you do want to get more involved, you need more support, you want to connect, you want visibility, you want access to the retreat, all kind of different things, then you'll become a different level member. But for now, just join as a supporter and we got you, you got us, and we're here to build together as a people. I am excited. I think that was my week. Like aside from that, hung out with the children, did some painting, regular things.
Like
I did
or renovation painting.
We need to repaint the girls' room. Simple things. But actually, we're still dealing with post flood. Like we now just finished painting the room after all the work and stuff was done in the girls' room. We just finished repainting it now to put all the furniture back. So that's been fun. I did something with my children a couple of weeks ago where I confiscated their cell phones, and they just got them back yesterday. So it was like 2 weeks no cell phones. I strongly recommend all parents to do this if you find your children are lamping. All right. I found like my children, and don't get me wrong. All right. Obviously, in my household, we have very high expectations. All right. So my children, they participate in WestCan. They do a bunch of different things. They dance, they drum. They're doing very well in school. Shout out to Huey. He got another scholarship, which is dope. Now, actually, I think 2 he got a Vandy scholarship and another scholarship they just called him for. So that's ill. But when I find these smartphones and make the children dote it, I'm like, nah. And yes, you guys are but I just find they're doing too much foolish things. And I found that they were being they weren't being critical in their thinking. That's the best way I could put it. And I was like, guys, I'm concerned. We're taking your phones until I see more proactivity, until I see you guys are thinking outside the box. Because everything you guys do right now is very like, do this, they do it. It's like, do it at school, they do it. Do this, do that. But they're not thinking. They're not like, it's important as a parent to know that your children are thinking. If they're in a weird scenario, they're going to think on their feet. So you got to put them in kind of pressure scenarios. And I was like, guys, I don't find you guys are critically thinking enough. I need to see more proactivity from you guys. Until I do, I'm confiscating your phones. And yeah,
I just want to hop on that and not that you didn't do that with your children. I just want the listeners to know that this is it's a great tactic because like critical thinking is what allows you to survive in the world and not become sheeple. However, also understand that if you raised your children, and it's because sometimes this is the household that you were raised in, the do as I say, not as I do. And you give your children the space and opportunity to be able to have that critical thinking with you as a parent, because you're supposed to be their first love and you're supposed to be their comfort. And if they don't even feel comfortable enough to have those type of conversations with you, and you don't give them that space, like you're basically setting them up to find that somewhere else and not be able to be critical thinkers. So
100%. You got it, Gina. And that's my thing. And I had a very frank conversation with the children because of that. I was like, guys, no, it's like for me, it's imperative to know that you guys know how to function. You guys know how to think. You guys know how to make things happen. So that was really it. And I'm glad to say that they got proactive. They connected with our homegirl Chris. They had a meeting with her about some of the things that they want to do, and It put them in a scenario where they had to think, they had to start becoming more proactive. I have to say, honestly, I think the most uncomfortable thing was me as a parent, because we're so used to being able to track our children with their phones. So just knowing that they're out in this crazy world, I'm like, I hope they're okay.
You didn't have that growing up. You just had
I know. But and you see, and that's the thing, and that I guess it all ties in because we didn't grow up with that kind of thing. We didn't have a choice but to be thinkers. Like we had to be like figure things out. Like, yo, we're out in these streets. We got to figure out how to get back home. We got no change. Got all kind of things. We had to figure it out because no one's coming for us. Like that.
On that very figure it out moment. Once upon a time, Jen and I and another friend, after we had one of those like, all age parties, the last bus left us behind, revved on us. And we had to get to
they like press the gas, sped up a little bit. Where you're like,
speed up. And they're like, we've seen you running. We don't care.
Right.
And I say we because I don't know if it was a female bus driver or a male bus driver,
right.
But whatever. And we had to get from Henry Bourassa Metro Station, bus station, to Chamonix Laval. And it took us 8 hours of walking. Why? Because we had no idea where we were going. Jen had to get led by the spirit. And I think a little part of it was like, I guess we kind of did like the bus route to a certain extent and we kept walking until we found something that
you recognize, right?
Because when I Google mapped it today, I was like, bro, that walk was supposed to take us like, I think 2 hours max.
But it made you stronger because of it. And
I think it was 6 hours. I don't think it was 8. I think it was there. And yeah, I think it
the
took
point is it was way more than 2. And that's really what it is, right? So no, but anyways, at the end of the day, I guess it was good exercise for me as a parent to just be like, yo, let go a little bit. But it was good for the children because you got to put them in these scenarios to just critically think. And not for nothing, I might jack my children's smartphones altogether and just give them old school regular phones, yes, just so I can reach them, but yet they still have no smart device. Anyways, I'll digress on this, guys. So we have an amazing show. We have the one and only Ryan Knight. And if I can, I don't know, I'm going to talk to Drew about this because Ryan was just on Dragon's Den. And it was 8 minutes he was on for, okay? And it was one of the best 8 minutes of my life. I'm listening to how Ryan just crushed it. Yo, Ryan came out with a dragon, came out with a partner, got $100,000 investment, has a partner. He's taking his company next level. He's joining us today so that one, we could just talk about the awesomeness that happened with the Dragons and all that stuff. There's a very good chance I'm going to run that whole thing for you guys to listen to. And then we're going to talk about his organization, ACBN, the African-Canadian Business Network, because they are going to be in Montreal next week, Wednesday. Jane the Great, I hope you come out. Next week, Wednesday, we're going to be at the UNIA. That is November 20th, because the OFC and ACBN have established a partnership beyond regular partnerships where now we're bridging between Ontario and Quebec. Can I get a woo-wee? So that's going to be huge.
You didn't give me a chance to say woo-wee. The man said, can I get a woo-wee and kept talking. All right, woo-wee. Jeez.
Yeah, I got excited and jumped on my own woo just now. That's what happened. But no, honestly, it is something that's gonna be huge, you guys. Like, you know how we get down. But picture now you're an entrepreneur in Quebec. You could now do business with people in Ontario, vice versa, via OFC. We're creating these bridges. It's to expand our horizon, people. But as you guys know, we are here for that. We're here to create these bridges, here to build these gaps, bridge these gaps. So I'm really excited. Now, so before we take a pause for the cause and bring in our brother Ryan and parlay with the people, I do want to just have that quick teachable moment with you guys. And this is a simple one. It's a light one. And it's definitely in line with what Gina the Great was mentioning in terms of just making decisions. Now, I am talking from my own life experiences where I have gotten in ruts where I've literally sat down and gone wild in my brain trying to figure out what is the right way to go. What's the right step? What's the right move? I don't know if I'm the only one, but it's a very uncomfortable situation when you're like, yo, I just want to do the right thing, but I'm not sure what the right thing is. And the teachable moment I have for you guys is when I came conscious of myself and my ability to receive guidance. First thing, and I'm sure I've told you guys this in the past, I'm going to repeat it again. When I became conscious, one of the first things I did was establish how I communicate with myself. I know a lot of you guys, you might, use ChatGPT and they talk about prompts. use that for your own self and figure out a way that you want to communicate with your spirit. Some people have a way where they press the palm of their hand and they're like, yeah, I'm about to tell you something, so you got to listen, right? Like
I feel like you're impeding on my segment that's coming later on today because I have something to say about that. But
we're of one mind, Gina. We're of one mind. Let me just finish. So
either that or I shared it with you and you watched it. And
you're such a nerd. Anyway. Okay. So I have notes and everything, Gina. Jeez, I wrote this down before. Funny enough, because I never do this, but because I really want people to learn and to grow and to connect with themselves. I actually take this part really serious. It's probably the most serious thing any part of our show. Not to diss any of my guests. I love you guys, but you guys know what I mean. So look, I'm gonna go quick because I feel like this is a whole segment. I'm going 2-time segment now. But the point is, first, have that way that you communicate with yourself. Tell your spirit, yo, when I snap my fingers 2 times and I say something, I need you to hear me, okay? And your spirit will tune in. So for me, I just intend, right? I just tell my spirit, look, I like clear, conscious communication. So I don't like gray areas. I want clear, conscious communication. That's what I've told myself, and that's what I get. The other thing too is it's more comfortable for me to make an intention. So what I'll do in a scenario where I'm at a crossroads, I need to figure out if I have to go left or right. I will intend to go the right way, or intend to go the way that is meant for me, intend to go whatever I want. That's my intention. Now, once I've put out the command and once I've done that, I am moving in faith. And a lot of people talk faith, but when I tell you I'm moving in faith, I might as well blindfold myself and I'm going to run in any direction I feel like going in, honestly, left or right. I don't even care. Now I'm just like, I'm going to go right, and I'll go right really fast, really hard. Now, because I have put out that command and I'm trusting the spirit, whatever happens. Now, it has happened on more than one occasion where I've gone right, and right away, it's like very clear, pulling me at my gut. It's like, stop and go left. It's like, whoa, pull back, go the other direction. Sometimes you're like, well, you already chose that way. Why you chose? I don't care what I chose. My spirit is telling me to go left. I'm double backing and I'm going left. Some people feel when they make a decision and they're going in a different direction, they feel a way about changing the direction. Yo, if your spirit is telling you change direction, bro, change direction, unless you're preparing yourself for all kind of rough times. So boom, change direction and just go with that. And then just have faith that whatever happens is what is meant to be. So, and however crazy that might be, I might end up going left and then go left and twist and break my ankle. Now, some people be like, yo, you see, it's because you went left. Yo, because I put out the intention, I went left. Whatever was meant to be was meant to be, and I would take that twist ankle with a smile and know that, yo, everything was meant to be. So whatever is going to come from this, and ride through that. And who knows, while I'm getting my thing bandaged up, I might end up meeting the person in the hospital that I was supposed to connect with, that is doing the things for me that was meant to be. The point is, once you put out the intention and you're trusting the spirit, whatever is to come is for you, and whatever is going to be, you have to accept it with a smile, because that's how you'll continue to get the rest of your blessings. So guys, people, that is my word for you guys today. Please receive it. Be blessed by it. Be uplifted by it. Once I have more time, you're welcome to send me questions and concerns and things that you have on your mind. Matter of fact, just send them now. If I have time, I'll go through them and I'll respond for you guys on air. It is my pleasure to be of service to you guys. So for now, let's take a pause for the cause, as we will be back now with Holiday with the People. Let's take a quick pause for cause, just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of HJCourtierAuto.com. That's HJCourtierAuto.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads, check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-de-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
Parlay with the people.
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 Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
All right, people. So we are back. So like I had mentioned at the top of the show, we have the one and only Ryan Knight joining us today. Now, before I let Ryan jump in and introduce himself, I have to tell you guys, I have to give you guys a little story. I'm not even sure if I ever even told Ryan the story. Maybe I told him, I'm not too sure. But the first time I got to even know Ryan is when he popped up on my Facebook and I see this ACBN and I hear what the guy is doing. And I'm like, that sounds like an OFC in Toronto. I'm like,
interesting, right?
I'm like, his vision, everything he wants to get done. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I might have even, actually, maybe if we dig back on our old messenger, Facebook messenger, I might even have reached out and be like, yo, I like what you're doing. I want to see if we can connect. Now,
okay.
And I don't remember even what panned out from that, if it ever happened or whatnot. But of course, give thanks to our brother Victor, because then fast forward, Victor's telling me about this brother Ryan coming into Montreal, this, that, and that. And I think you came, and you came with another sister.
With Karen. We drove down.
Yes.
Karen Rowe. Yes.
Yo. And I was like, yo, this is the man right here. I was like, yo, it was such an amazing, this is how I know it was just meant to be. We're meant to connect, meant to bridge, just because from when I first seen you and I resonated with you, the energy you're putting out, your intentions, why you're doing what you're doing, everything. I checked all the boxes and I was like, yo, I look forward to connecting with this brother. And life so has it, we've come full circle. You were in my house. Like, I was like, hey, now you're at my house, right? It was great. So, brother, thank you for being a guest with us today on Parlay with the People and for blessing us on the OFC Podcast Radio. So, my brother, how are you?
I'm very good. I remember because we drove down for the community consultation, but then a birthday party was happening that afternoon. And you're like, well, you're in town already. Just might as well come by.
That's how community works.
Yes. So that always remember that. Yeah. And always good seeing you. Looking forward to being in person next week. But yeah, always glad to chat and catch up.
My brother, it's like I see myself in you. I see like, but you know what they say, like people who are on the planet doing a certain work, like we are pretty much cut from the same cloth. Like we are doing the same type of thing. So you know that iron sharpen iron or whatever be the case. But I know it's awesome just to see the evolution. It's awesome to see the growth of the organization. Like being in rooms with you, hearing you speak, hearing what you're doing for the community. It's like it's amazing. And being able to create this bridge now for people within Quebec to be able to connect with you guys, and you know, just to create these opportunities, I think is going to be huge. But now, before we even dive in, like to your organization, like Drew, another round of applause. I'm just saying it right now, Drew, because we are going to sometime we're going to create a break in this interview, and I'm going to run the show, all right, where you were on Dragons Den. But let's talk about it. So I'm all over the place. So wait, before I dive into all that, Ryan, for people who might not even know, I'm getting excited here. So for people who might not know who you are, at first let's just give people an opportunity. Introduce yourself, my brother Ryan, to people who might not know.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those that don't know, Ryan Knight, I am married with two wonderful children. So shout out to Cheriton and Jasmine and Christian, son of Jacqueline and Thomas Knight, born in Toronto, but grew up in Brampton and now living in Ajax. And, you know, after school, I feel like I was drifting and then thought I had a solid job and ended up getting laid off 2 weeks before my wedding. And that was I'll say like the catalyst to starting Detailing Nights, where I realized what my dad had kept saying, you know, if you want to control your own destiny, start a business. If you want to be rich, become an entrepreneur. He just said start a business. So we took that time to go back to school. So shout out to Sheridan College and but while at school was able to start Detailing Nights. So Detailing Nights is a mobile waterless car cleaning company. So we provide waterless on the spot at people's houses or their offices, clean their cars without water on the spot. And really what I'm most proud of is we do also a youth entrepreneurship program. So we go in the summer, we work with high school students and even students out of school to teach them that they can start their own business. And typically what we do with their school is set up a car wash fundraiser day. So we come in, teach entrepreneurship. They do a day, so they learn to sell, they learn to do the cleaning, they learn to do customer service. And then if they like what they just went through, they can work in the summer and run a mini version of our company wherever they live. So yeah, and then to let the audience know about what we're hyped about. So for those that are fans of Dragons Den, we actually did a delegation down to CBC Studios, which is downtown Toronto. So they do auditions every year, and they usually do it in Toronto, and then they kind of go across the country, do it in Vancouver, then come back and do it in Toronto. So the first stop, we said, you know, I knew I was going to go down and pitch. So like, if I'm going to go down, let's see if there's other entrepreneurs that want to go down too. So we brought like 20, 25 entrepreneurs. So we were all down there. So we were doing video and interviewing people. So the whole time I thought we were going to get kicked out because I was down there with Shireen Simon, who runs Voices and Vibes. So she's like a podcaster that interviews people. So while we're like inside CBC, we're like, bruh, I don't know how long we're going to last, but we're going to get as much interviews of people as we can until they say we got to get out of here. But nobody said anything. Everybody was cool. So why that's so cool is that now we have behind the scenes initial interviews of myself. There's another lady, Anita Grant, that does Hello Hair. She got on Dragons Den. And then another lady, Judy Stewart, that does Tres Sols, which is shoes for plus size women, plus size feet. She got on Dragons Den just this past Thursday. So now we have like the before interview. We were at their watch parties. It was awesome being able to capture that content.
That is amazing.
So that's February of this year. So now they call you back to actually pitch in front of the Dragons. So during that time, and that was going to be in May. So they actually coach you on, okay, what are you going to pitch? How are we going to set up the scene? Like, what do you want on stage? So the producer was like, you know, we could probably get one of the Dragons cars. So for those that know Wes Hall, he likes to drive Ferraris. So they got him to put up one of his Ferraris. So when you watch the actual episode, the car came into the studio clean. And then so he's seeing it dirty for the first time. So his reaction is like, serious. I don't know what they did. They like knocked off dust from the rafters. They just They're like, yo, okay, we have to get it dirty for you for the show. So his reaction was like real to what.
It was real. Because he's like, yo, that's my car.
Yeah. And then when I was talking about, we're going to get a dirty car, he's like, well, it can't be my car because I know my car is clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so being able, then May, so we're there, got to bring, Cher, my wife, and the 2 kids. They were backstage, so they got to kind of see what was happening. And then my detailing team, so they were also on stage working with me. So it was, and I was hoping to actually have Jasmine on stage as well, but she was under 18, so weren't able to have her doing it. But yeah, just being there with the family, like the detailing family and my family, all experiencing me pitching. And then, so I won't spoil it. I don't know if it's going to be before or after we play it. But
yeah. We're definitely gonna play it. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I feel now would be a perfect part because you delivered it very well, and it's like listening to it, watching it. It's like you're on edge because you're like, you know what it's like being on these things. So it's like, yo, is he gonna say the right thing? And bro, you killed it. Like every art was like check. So all right, we'll take a quick pause. We'll play it so people can listen to it.
And finally, an entrepreneur from Toronto, hoping the Dragons will appreciate his attention to detail.
Dragons, my name is Ryan O'Neill-Knight, here from Ajax, Ontario, pitching for $150,000 for 18% of my company, Detailing Knights Canada. We provide mobile, waterless car cleaning using plant-based eco-friendly cleaning supplies. But what best to demonstrate than going out and finding the dirtiest car in the parking lot?
The dirtiest car in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
It's not Wes's.
My car is never dirty.
I know, right?
What happened to my car? What the?
If the car comes with the deal, I'm in.
Right? Hey, Ryan, if you scratch that bad boy, I'm coming after you, man.
But Detailing Knights, we provide mobile waterless car cleaning, going to clients' homes or their offices, cleaning their cars on the spot without using water. Over the years, we've worked with over 5,000 clients. Wow. Clients include Zipcar, Enterprise Auto Share, and car dealerships around the city. But I feel the next evolution of our company is franchising. So is it crazy for a knight to be here asking for a dragon for help? Wes, you want to come check it out? See how
absolutely, man. I gotta check it out. Check that bad boy out.
Detailing Knights has 3 locations in the Greater Toronto area.
And you'll notice it is not scratching.
Oh, yeah.
So we're able to go to a person's house.
Packages range from basic detailing for $129 to a premium exterior and interior clean for $279.
Whoever owns this Ferrari shouldn't own a Ferrari. Seriously.
No, appreciate that.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Questions?
Well done. I approve.
Yeah.
Ryan, so I've never heard of waterless cleaning. So what's the advantages?
It really helps to increase convenience. Also, instead of wasting 100 gallons of water cleaning a car, we're able to use only 6 ounces.
So what's your story? What's your background?
Yeah. You know, I started the company back in 2009, was laid off 2 weeks before my wedding, and that was a real gut shot. And
no kidding.
It reminded me that my dad always said, hey, if you want to control your own destiny, start a business.
So true.
Being able to start the business and use it as a tool to teach others to start businesses too. Because I've gone through College Pro Painters, and I know you've hired through College Pro Painters. So I love the concept of being able to teach high school, university students to show them they have the potential to start a business by using our company as a mini example.
But the road to success is paved with hundreds of car detailing companies, like hundreds.
Yes. The thing I love right now is there's no household name in car cleaning. So we want to become that household name, similar to Molly Maid.
Yeah.
I know Wow One Day Painting is a household name. So being able to take car cleaning into that open space to actually have a proper system that you can put in a box, teach to anybody in any city where there are cars around the world, that's what we want to build here.
Well, if only there was a dragon on this panel who knew something about franchising.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
And cleaning and home services with a massive
Shack
customer
Shine.
base.
We can do Ride Shine.
So what were your revenues in 2023?
I'll say on average 120. The downtown area did about 150.
Altogether?
Over 400,000.
What will you do this year?
We're projecting to hit that $500,000. I want to see each location do 150 each. That to me proves the viability that we can open up a new city
How much money did you make on the 400K last year?
Gross is about 48%.
Are you paying yourself a salary?
No.
How are you living without a salary?
I do work part-time for a nonprofit, the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, so that does offer a bit of salary, but I'm ready to go full 100%.
Could you talk about that network?
Absolutely. So we started the Afro-Caribbean Business Network about 6 years ago, and it was really because I was building back from a personal bankruptcy. I didn't have the support around me to build this company properly. So we brought 6 other entrepreneurs together to create an entity that would help them exponentially grow their companies. And to date, we have over 6,000 Black entrepreneurs in our network.
Amazing.
We do micro-lending, we do marketing and sales for them. We've worked with youth that are out of detention to show them they have the potential to start a business.
You're a real community builder, Ryan.
I appreciate that, Manjeet.
What would you charge for a franchise?
So about 25,000 would get you up and going.
That's it?
No franchise fee?
There's no percentage.
Oh, the royalty.
Yeah, the royalty.
Right, we do 8% of sales.
8% of sales. Okay.
It's pretty standard.
That's pretty standard.
I'm reading your book, that's why.
Oh, you are? Awesome. Thank you. You have some franchise experience having been with College Pro.
Yes.
Some of our best people have come from College Pro. They nail how to systematize a business. Why do you want a franchise?
I feel being able and learning from them that you can put a business in a box, and learning how to to paint houses is way more difficult than cleaning cars, I feel.
Of course, yeah,
so if
you're
you
right.
can teach a college student or a high school student or a university student how to start a painting company, that business in a box, I feel, is really powerful. And one of my missions is to teach young entrepreneurs that they can start businesses. And then from there, we're able to grow with them.
I'm a big fan of that too. I think when you start really early becoming an entrepreneur, it's so much easier to grow out. College Pro is very good at getting their franchisees to find customers by door knocking. How do you acquire customers?
We love door knocking, and to me, knocking on doors puts hair on your chest.
Oh yeah.
We work with our clients.
It makes you the strongest. I knocked on doors.
Right? And that to me battle tests you. And even when we talk to our high school and college students, when you go door to door and talk to a client,
the best training to be an entrepreneur is knock on people's doors. It is
that's
so hard.
All that teaches you how to be resilient.
Yeah.
And for me, entrepreneurship is persistency and consistency.
You're very impressive. You really are.
appreciate
You're
that.
very impressive.
Thank you so much.
This is a space we've been following forever. We knew that one day we would be in the space. It makes sense. We shine people's homes. Why not shine their rides?
Yes.
What excites me the most about this is you.
Okay.
You're building a community with a massive smile. You believe in entrepreneurship.
100%.
I will give you the 150 you're asking for, but I want 25% of the business.
All right.
It's a great offer.
You're very impressive.
Thank you so much.
And you think big, which is what we want on the show.
Yes,
We want people who
worldwide.
think big. But as far as investing, I'm going to be out.
Ryan, I love what you're doing for the community. Congratulations. What you've done this far, I wish you luck, but I'm out.
Okay. I think you as a founder has an enormous amount of presence, of optimism, and of grit. And I would back you in a heartbeat. I think on this deal, you have, a way stronger partner. I'm going to be out.
I support the work you're doing to build up other entrepreneurs.
Yes, appreciate that, Wes.
Sometimes in our community we go, I'm successful so everybody else can stand behind me. And you're bringing everybody else along. That's fantastic. But I'm going to be out because I think you have an amazing partner already.
I'll kick myself if I don't ask. Are you willing to do 22.5?
Ryan, you have 3 locations. This man can take you nationally. Okay? Whatever you're going to haggle over and negotiate over pales in comparison to what he's going to be able to do for you.
I got to stick to the 25.
Brian, you got a deal. My man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
It's awesome.
Great meeting you.
Great meeting you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan.
Let's go.
Brian's going to be a great partner for him.
He's going to be fun. He's a community builder. He's doing this for the right reasons, and it's going to be awesome.
All right, and we're back. Okay, good. So
Yes.
You already know how it goes. So, yo, that is just amazingness. So, congrats. So now people would have seen and heard, and you know the outcome. So you did get the deal. So congratulations on that.
Yes.
Now,
And so shout out to Brian Scudamore from 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And because we wanted to franchise our company, he was the one that we were targeting. But before, in February, I didn't know that he was one of the dragons. So we had pitched, because I'd always want to pitch to Jim Trevelling, who runs like Boston Pizza and Mr. Lube, because he's like into franchising. So the fact that he wasn't on the show, I've seen other franchise concepts get shut down by the dragons, right? So I was like, I wonder, right? So I'm like, I'm curious. But then the producer told me like, oh, do you know who the new dragon is? And he's telling me about Brian Scudamore. I was like, yo, I know 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Like I followed this story. I had one of his books actually, and then he wrote a second book. So going there, like he was the target. But of course, with him not there, I initially was targeting Wes Hall. So I was hoping that he was gonna come in, but he did say that we get to detail his cars, so we're working on trying to get a package to him.
Nice.
So ongoing. Yeah.
No, it's such an amazing thing because it creates job opportunities for youth. It creates mentorship opportunities. It creates like the point of entry is not bad. Like my wife and I were like, yo, this is something that like it could be gift, like the fact it's only 25,000 to get a franchise or whatever be the case, like you could gift that to a youth that's doing something that you're like, you know what, the whole community came together and we invested in a franchise. This is your company, there you go, and start it, you know what I mean, and run it. Like there's so many cool things that could be done with it, but it's the empowerment aspect that I
and the beautiful thing is for the youth program in the summer, it's only $500. It's $25,000 if a person's gonna run it like all year full time. But for our youth program, $500. And so we usually sponsor it with like our nonprofit or just crowdfund for them. So we could definitely talk about how to get more youth into it to get them the supplies.
Yo, I'm saying it on air right now. Remind me, I'm gonna connect you with Auntie Gemma. She runs Gemstar Academy. She has an amazing collective of youth that she works with every year. All right, so that's gonna, you know how we get down within the OFC. We're here to create these bridges and connections. So we're connecting with Auntie Gemma from Gemstar. It's going to be a great opportunity, and we're going to see how we can raise some funds to get some of her youth involved in the program.
Awesome.
Yeah, hands down. And anybody who's listening and who is thinking about diversifying and you want to get into a different business, the point of entry is very low, and everybody has cars. Okay, everybody has cars. So that you know, anywhere
market is huge.
That's really what it is. Now, one question I had: how does it work in the winter, or does it not work in the winter?
So we're working with a couple parking management companies, so like InPark and Indigo, to look at condos and business buildings that they operate in, so that we can be the car detailer of choice underground. So there's a couple in Brampton and Toronto that we're looking at. So when a person gets a franchise, throughout that first year, it's about getting them their first like stationary location so that they can work all year round.
Oh, that is beautiful. And I love that idea. I think I might even have a contact actually for an underground parking lot. Anyways,
please let me know.
I know how we get that. Awesome. I love that. I love it. So now, all right. So now we can transition, because you know we have to double, triple dip, like take opportunity. It's been a while since we had time to catch up. So ACBN. For those who don't know, what is ACBN?
Yeah, and again, shout out to Wes Hall, who allowed me to talk about ACBN during the pitch. So you'll hear I'm talking about like how it started, but the Afro-Caribbean Business Network really came to be because I wanted to grow Detailing Nights. We were looking to franchise and try to grow it across Canada, but there weren't a lot of Black-focused business organizations that had the mandate to scale up companies. So I lived in Brampton and Peel. There was nobody there. BBPA was in Toronto. And so we felt in Peel, we could build something that would have that mandate. So we brought 6 other entrepreneurs together, said, hey, what does it look like to sit down with an entrepreneur, figure out what stage they're in, and then help them grow and actually work with them? And that was I'll say the core foundation for ACBN. But that was 7 years ago. So we're celebrating our 7th-year anniversary this month. And initially, it was more info sessions and networking events. But then we realized a lot of the events that we're doing were proposing opportunities, but business owners weren't ready to take on those opportunities. So we shifted to capacity building to say, hey, if a person needed to get like their taxes done, the initial bookkeeping, their financial statements, we now created a microloan program that we can loan up to $10,000 so that they can get those things in place and also help them with their marketing and sales. So those foundational elements like that are core to your business, a lot of times business owners just need that initial capital. Then they can operate and build, and we can connect them into bigger capital. So we work with like the Black Opportunity Fund, the FACE Coalition. They have up to 250,000, but Black Opportunity Fund does up to 50,000. So those are kind of like the next stages. I call them tiers. So we're tier 1, the farm team, and then we try to get you up to the big leagues. So through AA, AAA, and into the big leagues, which would be commercial banking at like one of the big 5.
That's it. And like what you're doing is so needed, because like you hit it on the head. Like there's a gap there, because even when I was getting involved in business, like there was no guidance, there was no support. You didn't know where to get the support from. And then every time you started, it's like we can help you once you get to this point. But it's like, how do I get to that point? Like I'm here, bro. I'm at square one. Like I understand I need to be at square 5 to deal with you, and no one had that 1 to 5. Right.
And that's where the bank is telling you, come back. Like, oh, no for now, but come back when you're ready. And they're like, okay, where's ready? Like, what's ready? Because usually they won't even tell you. Yeah, they're just like, they type into their computer, it was declined. And it's like, that's all they tell you.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
No, so it's like, and I tell you, like I've taken the time, and our members know, and our listeners know, I've to drive down to Toronto just to come down to your events, or to Brampton, whatever, just to come down to the events and to be present, and just to feel the energy, because like you do have, like you guys really are, like I do equate when I hang with you guys and I'm there with in your events, or even when I meet the business owners. You brought me on a couple of tours to meet some of the business owners in the area. Everybody has that vibe. Everybody has the energy. It's like, we're here to support each other. We're here to build. Obviously there's always going to be ups and downs in business and whatever be the case, but the point is we're here doing it together, and I definitely appreciate you guys for what you're doing.
True.
If I had to ask you, and maybe you hear this a lot from different entrepreneurs, and you could share with our listeners, what would you say is the biggest challenge most businesses are facing now? And what would you say is a gap, like a support that they should be looking into to get to address the challenge?
Yeah, and I'll use myself as an example, because this is definitely something I hear a lot. But the initial mindset of, as an entrepreneur, you think that you need more money. So you're always on this hunt for capital. You're like, okay, the banks, I'm trying to get money from there, or I'm trying to get an investor, maybe an angel investor. I just know I need more money for stuff. But a lot of times what an entrepreneur actually needs is more sales. So you have to look at, are you actually doing the activities to increase sales? Because if you can get yourself to even just $10,000 a month, that now becomes a blueprint that you can scale to $1 million a year. But because a lot of entrepreneurs, and when they come to us, because we're tier 1, we see like the what do you call it? Like the cracks in the foundation, right? So they're coming in asking for 10,000, and you're like, okay, so what are you currently doing? And you can see like they're not, let's say, posting every day, or they don't have a way to reach out to their past clients. They don't have a website that has automation to to follow up. There's just elements core that if you put those in place, you're going to increase your sales, and then you don't need to get a loan. Like you actually can self-fund yourself. So that's where we're trying to shift people from relying on, whether it's loans. A lot of times entrepreneurs are, I feel deceived by grants. Like I do talk a lot about grants. I talk about funding all the time, but it's not the muscle that you want to strengthen. You want to strengthen your muscle of marketing and sales, and then grants is bonus. So if there's money out there that they're giving, 100%, I'm going to encourage you to write that application and get it in. But you shouldn't be relying on a grant to pay your rent. You shouldn't be relying on a grant to be paying your car note. Like that is bad business.
Right.
So because I talk about grants, I have to get better at educating what grants are for, and then when's the best time to use that. Like what is it best used for, I should say. Like not just what it's for, but what is it best used for? And then also educating what's the best use of debt, like loan capital. Because I feel when you bring in debt, if you have a good plan and good strategy and the work ethic to execute, you can use debt way easier than you can use a grant, because the timelines for grants is like 3 to 6 months, but you could get a loan within a month and then use that to increase sales. And then from that increased sales, you can pay off the monthly payments. So it's in effect better than a grant, and it becomes more of an operating line. And then that operating line just grows on itself. Like that's the muscle that we want to strengthen is, what can I do with $1,000? How can I turn that $1,000 into 2,000, pay off the 1,000? Now I have a 1,000 left over that I can reinvest. It just keeps growing on itself. If you get a $5,000 grant and then you pay your rent that's due, that's $5,000, you still don't have sales. So you literally just used it to get back to zero and you're stuck again. So those are the conversations that I'm having every day. And it's tough because everybody is their dream, right? So you don't want to, it's almost like calling people out for being, I don't want to say lazy, but not being effective. And this is why I'm talking to myself, because I know when I'm out there looking for funding, when I'm out there looking for grants, there's activities that I could be doing every day that would be more beneficial to me to grow the business. And that was the real hard lesson as I'm working with Brian Scudamore and his team. Is like, why aren't you at 1 million? Like, show us your system. Like, great, you're getting closer to 500,000, but that journey to 1 million is all about rinse and repeat. Like when you have something that works, 4 hours in the morning, 8 to 12, and different books that we read, like Alex Hormozy or Myron Golden, it all talks about you have that core offer, and every day you're selling the thing. Like, and a mentor of mine, Chris Carter from York University, he's in the Schulich entrepreneur, like the business division. And I had a meeting with him because we're about to franchise. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get my mind around, is the business ready to grow? Like, can I give this business in a box to somebody else and they'll be successful? Because I want people to win. And he's like, are you still cleaning cars? I was like, well, yeah, I'm running the Durham region. He's like, your job right now is to be the best salesman in the company. Figure out how else people can do the work. You need to be out there selling every day. That's your main mission. If it's 8 hours a day that you're working, that imagine, and I'm talking to entrepreneurs now. This is what I was telling to myself. If I spent 8 hours a day focused on selling this service for 5 days, what would the business look like? It would just, it wouldn't look like what it is now. I know, because I'm not doing it. Because I know I'm not that focused. So if I get focused, where this could go, and again, selling the business, because now we're shifting to franchising. So if I spend 8 hours a day putting together what it means to sell this company to somebody else for them to run it, we can just go through the stratosphere. But it's all about that focus. And again, hey, I love ACBN. I love what I do with the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. But I was telling the team, actually, we were at the conference a couple of weeks ago, and I said, you know, I'm stepping a bit back from day to day with ACBN because it's a race to $1 billion. Like, we need to create the first $1 billion company in our community that can now do the work of what IBM does. They employ over like 500,000 people. Imagine we had a company in our community that even Amazon, I think it's at least 100,000 just in Canada. And businesses.
That's power, because now you're feeding people. You're allowing people to work, and they could support their families. They could invest. They could pay their bills.
That's what I'm saying. It shifts the whole conversation. So now
the business there, or
said Detailing Nights is in the race. So if we're raising to 100 million, if we're raising to $1 billion, I want to be part of that, building a company that can actually now be the example and show others how to get there as well. So actually the next mastermind that we're putting together is called The Journey to 1 Million. So we want to find who's currently doing just over 100,000 that wants to get to 1 million, and we need to start meeting weekly and actually pushing ourselves to that next milestone.
Yeah, I think I want to join that club because it's like we talk
Sweet,
about it
sweet.
for the thing is like, and the OFC, like I transitioned from a for-profit to the nonprofit, but I'm doing social economy, so we still have a business arm to what we're doing. And honestly, my board gave me shit last month. I have to, if I'm going to be very
Oh,
honest and
okay.
transparent, and it's because the fact that I got too distracted doing like just doing too much like where I'm like and not just focusing because they had to remind me, well, how does revenue comes from these two things, bam bam, we get memberships, we get referral commissions, that's the bulk of it.
Mm.
If we're not focusing on great generating more members and expanding that, what are you doing, right? And it's like, yes,
Right.
and the thing is, I was like, yes, well, I was taking time to do this grant and that grant, and they're like, yeah, but if it doesn't come, and exactly, like, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm like, yep, I just got in trouble for that. Because you can't rely on those things. So what happens if you spend all this
Right.
time working with this grant, you don't get it, we're nowhere further, but we know the proof is in the pudding, because when we focus, members roll in, and the membership
Yes.
sustains. Like members, like they make their contributions, but if you're not doing that work, bro, like what happens?
Yo, you have a beautiful thing to sell. And even, okay, this is where a lot of times we can't focus 100% right away. So I said to myself, okay, 10 to 12, that is pure DK. And then, so before 10 is family, I'm getting the kids ready. But then 10 to 12, pure focus. Any meetings other than DK, I can do between 12 and 2. And then in the evening, we can do like bonus stuff. So like that, this past month, that 10 to 12 has been the most productive I've been all year.
Wow.
And these are things that I'm learning from working with teams that are ahead of me, talking to like franchise partners with 1-800 Got Junk and Wow One Day Painting, and also what's it called, Shack Shine. So we get to meet these franchise partners, and he asked me, one of the guy that does Shack Shine, I was like, oh, what do you do in the morning? I was like, well, it depends. And he's like, why aren't you in the van? He's like, yo, when you're not hitting 1 million, you are the man in the van. So he's talking again about just selling. It's like there's nothing else to do but sell.
It's like, what are you doing? You're not making money. That's it.
That's it. It's like if your answer is not you're out selling, you're wasting, you're not optimizing your time to grow this thing. So I was like, man, it's really humbling. A lot of times we're in meetings with these businesses that are one guy is doing 60 million with a 1-800 Got Junk franchise. And the number didn't even, like, I was like, did he mean 6 million? like, you don't get to just interact with people doing tens of millions of dollars, right? Yeah. So, and then he was the same thing. He's like, listen, before you're thinking of like expanding, your operations has to be tight. Like you just have to make sure that you know what you're doing, and then you just pour fuel into it and just keep like it just becomes the rinse and repeat. So it's just, and I was saying like you have their team on the other side and you're my team on my side, right? And my team's like 2 of us. So there's 2 of us and there's 6 of them. And you're like, yo, this is the evolution. Like you're seeing where you're gonna get to. And that to me is really humbling, but then it's such a beautiful learning experience to say like, man, you can see what's possible. You know, like when you actually, especially when you put a star lineup, imagine like, and that's what another guy said. He's like, if you had 6 star A teammates, like employees, where would your business be? I was like, shit, I don't know. Like imagine 6 people better than you at what they do. It just makes you get hungry, guy. Like, yo, there's levels to this.
yeah, bro. Thank you, Ryan. I am motivated. I am excited. I am motivated. I am like, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I needed that. I'm working on a lot of things right now. You just put the battery in my bag. And again, you're gonna be here in the flesh next week. People who are listening, you want to come out. We're having our holiday event where we're announcing a collaboration. So now I'll share with the people. So for years we've been talking about how do we come together and how do we do this thing? How could we empower each other and our communities? Creating that bridge between Ontario and Quebec is one of the ways we can help our community to level up, because it's just that it creates that bridge where now we can expand our potential clientele, expand our potential reach, what's that saying? It's about who you know, and it's about who knows you. So between these creating these kind of bridges, we can now do that. And the fact that within Quebec, or obviously within the OFC, we do translation, so we could bridge now. Even we could even crush that language barrier that our members in Ontario normally have, because we will facilitate. We'll make sure that those bridges are made. So I think it's huge, and I'm really looking forward to this collaboration. And when you come, like, we're going to talk to the members about it and just deep dive about the benefits. But at the base, it's really we're just here to solidify the bond between Ontario and Quebec, and to create a pipeline to support. So I think it's my brother. It's a huge opportunity. We're not checking the time. Okay, good. So we're okay for time now. And you share the nuggets. So now when you come, we're going to also take a time for you to do a little workshop with the community while we're doing a little second set. Do you want to share a little bit of what the workshop is going to be about?
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing with the kind of current state of, I'll say, economics is there's a lot of money flowing around us. Mm-hmm. And so learning how to position ourselves in front of that flow of money is key, but then how to leverage that to actually amplify what you're doing. So a couple key things that, as I've learned, running my business, what type of money do you need at certain stages of your business? And one key thing, and I mentioned that early, is like, what would you do with $1,000? How would you, and like flipping it. So being able to flip, if you're able to get access to $1,000, then you know that you're going to be able to grow the business. Okay, next step. Could you get access to 10,000? What would you do with 10,000? Again, what would that look like for your business? And then what would it look like if you got 50,000? And so every step of the way, we know where to get the money. It's now we have to prepare ourselves for each tier. So what would you do with 100,000? What would you do with a person that can invest $1 million? You have to build the machine that can use money effectively, because then it becomes a container that people want to put money in. A lot of times people come asking for money and their container is broken. The bottom of the bucket is empty, like mash up any money that you put in, just gonna flow. Like people feel comfortable with that, right?
Yeah, true.
So that's where build a strong connection. And then when you get introduced to the money, it's a lot easier for people to say yes. So when we talk about how to structure, that's a big piece. Where to find the money, that's a big piece. But then one thing that ACBN is focusing on going forward is really around building wealth through franchising. So our symposium in March, it's about how to acquire businesses that already have these machines ready, and then you can just trade. So for those that might be following along, the Afro-Caribbean Business Network, we are acquiring a Just Like Family franchise. So being able to do home care for seniors with PSW work, and that's going to become our core revenue driver instead of relying on grants, because I keep getting that pit in my stomach halfway through the year when your grant is running out at the end of the year, and now you're scrambling to figure, okay, do I have to let people go? Do we have to what grants can we find? Nothing's available right now. So you're just scrambling. So shifting to, and it's wild because I'm running a business that's about the franchise. So I know how powerful a franchise system can be. So we said, well, if we found another type of franchise that aligns with our values, that could be something that generates revenue, and now we don't have to worry about. So and then we also want to groom more franchise opportunities. So if we look into our community, what are the excellent businesses that we can encourage them to franchise? And then ACBN can actually buy one of those franchises, and we can encourage other people in the community to partner and buy it. So we can actually fuel an entrepreneur's growth by teaching them how to franchise and teaching them the power of it. So I feel that direction, it gives us a niche to really focus on. And that way, when other organizations have businesses that are stellar or want to fix their systems and their operating systems, that's what ACBN is going to be. That's what we want to be experts in.
Yo, brother, you guys are already doing it, because the OFC we met with Just Like Family, we're also in the process of looking at that same thing. Yo, we are literally living what we're discussing. It's not talk, guys. We're doing this. We've already started. because this is how you empower a community, and this is how you empower a future generation. Everything we're doing right now, guys, like I don't know about you, Ryan, but for me, I'm looking to retire early. I'm just trying to set these things up, get them rolling.
Yes.
Because I just doing this community work, running the business, being a family person, it's like 3 full-time jobs. So I need to retire earlier than the average person. That's my that's how I'm looking at this. So it's like the idea is set these things up and empower our community, empower our next generation coming up. Shout out to Jasmine. We still have her books here. We're looking for volume 2.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, yes.
So but this is what it's about. It's about planting these seeds and empowering our children and setting the example. And you mentioned something before, and I wanted to commend you on that and just put a little highlight on it, because as entrepreneurs, there's such a power and a value in humbling ourselves and being able to take direction from people who are doing it.
Real talk.
That's the most valuable thing. Sit at their feet, not to make it sound like weird, but take what they're giving you, because they're done it. Yes. They're doing it. Right? And it's like, take what they're giving you, So just humble yourself. You do not know everything. You definitely want to take that time and learn from these people who are doing it. And when there's opportunity to connect, like we got Brother Ryan coming here, take the opportunity to connect. The OFC, we're here to create these bridges. Ryan's doing the same thing in Ontario, creating bridges for people within the community who are looking to do things, who are looking to scale. So this is really what it is. So that's my call for community. So for people, I know it's still in the development, but now if somebody wants to connect, they want to find out about detailing nights, they want to find out about how to connect, they're interested in finding out about a franchise, they're interested in the service, what is the contact information to reach you for that? And then also for ACBN, if people want to find out more about ACBN, how we go about that?
Yeah, both. I would say to start with our website. So with Detailing Nights, detailingnights.ca. On our website now, we have, if you're interested in learning more about franchising, you'll be able to click that and go to the landing page that talks a bit about our story. And then you can fill out our interest form to join the wait list. So within the month, we're going to be reaching out to those on the wait list to say like, hey, this is what it's going to look like to onboard and learn more about what we're doing. So that's all in place. So if you're interested, definitely fill that out. That way we'll contact you directly. And then with ACBN, again, our website's great because ACBNcanada.ca. In our website, we have a business assessment where you can now fill out a form that talks about your business, lets us know what stage you're in, and then we would call you, or one of our team members would call you to find out, okay, this is what you asked for, this is how we feel we can support, and if it's something we do internally, we'll plug you in, or if it's something that we can connect you to, we'll make the recommendation. And also that'll allow us to get you on our newsletter so we keep you up to date on everything that we're doing. And also our drop-ins. So Thursdays, we're able to shift it to 6:30. So now you can drop in every week just to ask questions about your specific business.
Oh, bro, this is huge. Again, it's going to be really fun to be able to create this bridge. I know we'll be doing a lot of virtual work. We'll be supporting, just creating these ops, but even that assessment, having our members fill in those assessments, because the power of what we're doing here is that you and I both don't do the same work. Like you have a business network, I run a community, right? And they complement each other. Where I have tons of individuals who are members who work regular jobs, but they're dedicated to supporting community. So they take part in programs that we have and they support the businesses within our community. No, I don't care what business you're doing. It's really hard to run it without consumers. Okay.
Yeah, valid. You said it at the top. It's like sales cures all, man.
Thank you. So I'm really grateful to be able to have such a large community of people who are down, people who like they do trust the OFC to vet businesses and to build these reports and to vouch for companies that's worth supporting and spending money with. And that's what we're doing. But to be able to have that is huge. And then to couple that kind of community with another business network, it's huge. We have businesses within the OFC as well. So shout out to all our businesses that we currently have within the OFC, but that's how our ecosystem runs. So now all we're doing is expanding the business side of what we have within the OFC by creating this collaboration with ACBN, so just creates more opportunities, but also the fact that you guys have that extra information when it comes to getting access to financing is another thing, which is huge as well, because again, we have funding opportunities here, but the challenge is, and you'll connect with entrepreneurs and you'll understand it, as Anglophone entrepreneurs here within Quebec, my brother, there's a huge disparity. And this is what we are going to be changing when we bring ACBN into Quebec. And when, like that, it's important. It's important because there's a need for it, my brother. There's a need to establish this type of support for the Anglophone business community. There are other groups that are here, but there's not enough to take on the needs that we have as an Anglophone. So this collaboration it's going to change the game for us. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, and same. Looking forward to, being able to just leverage what we've both built. A lot of times people are in our silos. We talk about it all the time. This will be a blueprint that other organizations can see. It's like, oh, the way that's working, either they want to be part of it, or at least in their silo, they can start at least connecting a couple other nodes to what they're doing. So we won't get them all at once, but if we start seeing nodes connect, eventually it's going to build out strong.
Yo, amen to that. So my brother, so now I like closing out these interviews with giving our guests an opportunity to bless our listeners with some words of empowerment. Now, you dropped a bunch of gems. So now I'm putting you on the spot for just, like those cool final words that people like to leave people with. As we're preparing to close, do you have some empowering words you like to leave with our listeners?
Yeah, one thing that I noticed, I don't do a lot of inspirational keynotes. I usually do keynotes about tangible action items or steps that you can take. So if you look at the business that you're running, or even your community, if you're running an organization, what would be the next best hire? Go find that person. Whether you have to convince them to sweat equity it out, if you can figure out to get the money, talk to ACBN about getting money to bring in the next best hire. Because even if you can't be fully focused, you can't be focused on everything. So you need, and a lot of times we tell people, bring in that salesperson. Let somebody dedicated to that job go out there and represent you. So look at what you're currently doing, and especially all the hats that we're wearing, and find that next best hire. Even it could be just a virtual assistant that takes on admin tasks for you and does prospecting. As simple as that, 5 hours, 10 hours a week, you can now get a task that somebody is dedicated. This is what I'm talking about, focus. If you bring in somebody that does tasks in a dedicated way, you will, and then waking up and seeing stuff done is a beautiful thing. Yeah. So whether it's a person that is overseas that works overnight, or during the day you're working on something else and somebody is doing their task, seeing things get done without you have to do it, and it's done close. It doesn't have to be as good as you, but again, if you find somebody that can do it close to you or better, that is a dream. That is, let's make it happen to find your next best hire and start there to start building out your team.
Woo! Ryan, man, as usual, always come with the energy, always come with the vibes. It's always great to connect with you, my brother. And again, this is like, I do feel that we're just kind of going in line with what life has in store. So I'm really excited just to see the future. Thank you for being a member and a partner of the OFC, always supporting and always just there to encourage and empower community. You're going to be here live in the flesh next week, Wednesday. Guys, come out early. We're there I think we're there from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10 or something like that. So it's, we're not going to be that long, but we're going to give out some membership cards. Ryan will have an opportunity to share with you guys, have an opportunity to connect. We're hosting it at the historic UNIA, where Marcus Garvey founded here in Montreal. Actually, it's where Malcolm X's parents met at the actual place that we're going to be hosting this at. Wow. So guys, it's history in the making, guys. So again, I thank you all and thank you all for continuing to support. Let's now get ready to take a pause for the cause, and we'll be back with Gina the Great and Ungrind My Gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Actually, it's time to ungrind those gears. Let's get into some interesting facts, tips, and a whole lot of fun with Gina the Great. What the facts is going on? Have you heard of Peter Tabishi?
No.
Whoa. Peter Tabishi is a science teacher from rural Kenya who donated 8% of his salary to help poor students. And he was crowned the world's best teacher and was awarded $1 million prize, beating 10,000 nominations from 179 countries.
Wow. That talk
Yeah.
about doing a good deed, going a long way.
Mhm. So Peter Mokaya Tabashi, born in 1982, you the young one. Okay, look at you. He's a Kenyan science teacher and Franciscan friar who teaches at Keriko Mixed Day Secondary School in Pwani, Nakuru County. He is the winner of the 2019 Global Teacher Prize. Tabishi was listed as one of the top 100 most influential Africans by New Africans in 2019. Now, this is technically old news, but you know what? The facts is about sharing things that we didn't know before. And I didn't know this. And I think that this is a wonderful highlight to share and show when, sometimes when you pay it forward, especially when there's no intent and it's just to be able to, empower the people around you, everything will come back in like full-fledged or just like in droves.
Full circle, no pun intended.
Full circle, there you go. So Tabashi was born, I keep saying Tabashi, but it's Tabishi, was born in rural Kenya. He said he was inspired to become a teacher because of his family. And he quotes, "I admired the impact that they had in society and wanted to better their script." 100%. So he started becoming a teacher in a private school. Tabishi is a Franciscan friar. He joined the Keriko Mixed Day School, a secondary school in 2016, where he teaches math and physics. The school is located in a semi-arid village in the Rift Valley province, a region impacted by famine and drought. Tabishi donates 80% of his salary to support pupils in the Pwani village. The school population is made of 7 different tribes, and around 95% of the students living in poverty, and 1/3 live with only one parent. Keriko Mixed Day Secondary School only has one computer, intermittent access to internet, and a student-teacher ratio of 58-1.
Whoa. That makes hard for learning. Sorry.
That's very, very difficult. Tabishi launched the Talent Nurturing Club, which has dramatically improved attendance. He also established a peace club, uniting representatives who have been involved with violence. He engages with local communities, teaching residents how to grow crops that can resist famine. Tabishi and his students work on renewable energy and devices which can support people with disabilities. Under Tabishi's influence, his students have reached the finals of the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair and won an award from the Royal Society of Chemistry. In only a couple of years, Tabishi has doubled the number of students attending university.
Wow.
In 2019, Tabishi was awarded the $1 million Global Teacher Prize. The award receives over 10,000 nominations. Tabishi traveled on an airplane for the first time to collect his prize in Dubai. He was presented the prize by Hugh Jackman and congratulated by Uhuru Kenyatta. And they quote, "Peter, your story is the story of Africa, a young continent bursting with talent. Your students have shown that they can compete amongst the best in the world in science, technology, and all fields in human endeavors." On winning the prize, Tabishi said, "Africa will produce scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs whose names will be one day famous in every corner of the world, and girls will be a huge part of this story." In April 2019, Tabishi was appointed as champion for children in conflict and crisis.
Yo, I'm happy. I'm very happy. That's a great story. That's a great feel-good story. Thanks for that, Gina. I was already feeling good. Now I just feel better.
Now you feel great. So I really, that's just really amazing. And I hadn't read the full article before writing the rest of my segment, but it's amazing that it finished off in him saying that, like, girls are going to be a huge part of the story of Africa and its growth and its name being in the households of in every corner of the world, because something's happening with women in this world today. I think we definitely have said it before, and when you look at history, a lot of kingdoms were ran by women. And, something happened in that faction where, what's it called? Like, what, not matricism. What am I thinking of?
You mean when men took over and the world became more,
why am I losing this word? But
I know what you mean though. Like
yeah,
men took over stuff, just ruined it.
yeah, and then like all of a sudden,
Monolithic?
like
No.
not monolithic, no, but yeah,
What's
whatever.
it called? Oh my God! Sorry.
Yeah, like becoming a patriarchy, but in its worst forms, honestly, at the end of the day, anyway. But Whoopi is creating a women's sport network for international sports for women, and that's from football. And when I say football, I mean actual football that most of the world knows. So tennis, hockey, basketball, all the sports, and it's going to be a network that's going to play women's sport constantly. And I say that because Morgan Reckley, she's the best freshman PG in the country. She has crazy handles, buckets, and clamps, and we're seeing this growth. And she's still elementary, so she's about to go to high school, and she's already like, she's being scouted heavy. And like I was watching the video of her handle is crazy. Her handle can rival all basketball players, regardless of your background. And I think it's important for people to understand, because a lot of the rhetoric behind like, oh, the WNBA players aren't getting paid the same as men, and like, well, why should they? Because it's not as entertaining. Like, people don't watch that, this, and a third. Understand that women weren't allowed in these spaces. And I want to shout out and thank the women who had to go, and this is in every sport, who kind of just had to start paving the way so that people can start taking us seriously. I say a royal us, right? My athletic years are way behind me, but taking women serious in sports, because at the end of the day, we're coming from a shorter runway of however long men have. Because I'm sorry, you go back to when the NBA first started, ain't nobody trying to watch those games.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to watch that. And like the basketball is what it is today because of the allocation of growth that it's had throughout the years. And so I think women's sport has been and is going through that, and I'm seeing that breakthrough in the WNBA, and we saw that breakthrough in tennis with Venus and Serena, for example, and so there's different type of things. So shout out to Whoopi for doing that. Shout out to Morgan Reckley for getting best freshman PG in the country, or the United States country, and shout out to Coco Gauff, I think her name is. Who made history by becoming the youngest WTA finals champion in 20 years, securing a title at the age of 20. Her victory at the 2024 Women's Tennis Association finals in Riyadh earned her a record-breaking $4.8 million in prize money.
Wow, shout out.
Yeah.
That's
So
big. I love those things. Those are good stories. And anyways, I won't go off topic, but it's like, but I wonder, because this conversation of women's sports and transgender people participating in them,
that's not what we're talking about right now.
I know, but
Don't take away from all the greatness that has happened currently.
No, I'm not taking anything away. I'm wondering if Whoopi had mentioned if they're going to be able to participate in the sports.
Whoopi's not regulating who can participate in the sports. What she's doing is a TV network that's actually going to be diffusing these sports, these women's sports. So it's not up to her whether or not these international association sports or of professional athletes, what their rules and regulations are, has nothing to do with her. She's just diffusing and bringing to the world a world of showing women being professional athletes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes. Well, I enjoyed this segment because I didn't have some positive butts, like, right? So it wasn't just like, hey, this is what's going on in the world. And believe me, I could have gone that route, but I happily did not. And on that course, I'd love to continue and get into trivia. And I felt like cartoon was great, so I'd like to continue.
Let's do it.
All right. Question number 1. What is the name of the superhero team in Teen Titans?
The superhero team in Teen Titans Go?
In Teen Titans.
Isn't that what they're called? Teen Titans?
It is. It is. Yep.
I'm like,
that was a super softball. You know how I
you're such a nerd. I'm like, didn't you say the answer in the question?
The answer was in the question. It is Teen Titans. Guess who has kids?
I was like,
Teen Titans goated.
Now, if you start asking me the name of the characters, then we have a problem because I can't remember any of them niggas. But that's just what it is. Hey, you know, you don't want to involve Ryan in our trivia?
You know what? What?
Let's involve Ryan in our trivia.
Well, sure.
Okay, 1 second.
Let's take a quick moment. Okay, so question number 1 of this week's cartoon trivia. What is the name of the superhero team in Teen Titans?
That is the name of the superhero team, Teen Titans.
It is indeed. So
okay, I was like, yo, throwing the curveballs early.
Well, it was actually a softball. I was just like, it was a softball. I just wanted to see if you guys were awake, you know?
Right. But see,
awake,
Ryan and I both have children, so you already know, like...
Well,
I watch it because of my children, right, yes.
Don't worry, I watch it too. I like. Well, I am anti-mom, so I have children by surrogacy, if you will.
Word.
Okay. Question number 2, and in all fairness, I only know this because I started rewatching it. But in Dragon Ball Z, who is Goku's Saiyan brother?
Oh, Vegeta.
Oh,
not Vegeta.
It's not Trunks. Trunks
is
Broly.
Bro, like the big guy. No, not
No,
Broly.
Trunks is his grandson. Damn. And I didn't even get back to that.
Right. Okay, hold on.
No.
Who is his Saiyan brother? It's not Broly?
It's not Broly. No, that's down the line.
Wow,
this is a good one.
I know.
Oh,
I have to
goodness.
go back and watch. I have to go back rewatch. Damn.
Because not for nothing, in my watching Dragon Ball Z, we watched it when we were kids, and so in my brain it was Vegeta, but it wasn't. And so let me tell you the story about Raditz, because his brother is Raditz, and Raditz came to Earth, and he's just like, "Yo, why is Earth still in one piece? What is Goku doing?" Actually, did he even call him Goku? I didn't think he called him Goku because that's not his.
Not Kakarot.
Kakarot, yes.
And now I'm trying to remember if he even said Kakarot. I just don't remember that part. But he's just like, "Yo, what's man's doing? You were supposed to deal with business." And so obviously Goku had to deal with his case. He's like, "Yo, before I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna do to let the other 2 Saiyans who are
right.
Whatever, they need to come to Earth because you didn't handle business." And that's when Vegeta and his other homeboy came to Earth.
Yes. Oh wow, yeah, because Raditz came first. Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Again, I just restarted watching it literally like last month. So
that's so good.
What are you watching on? Disney or
Crunchyroll?
Oh, okay. All right.
Crunchyroll. Yeah, except I did stop my because I'm removing a couple of networks just to stop watching just to lessen the screen times. It might come back on a little later.
I hear you.
Now, this wasn't my favorite show per se, and I didn't watch it too often, but maybe you guys did. In South Park, what is Eric Cartman's middle name?
Oh my goodness.
No, I don't know. I didn't watch South Park enough to even know. Like, no.
Yeah. Eric Mortimer.
That would have been such a good name. You need to go rewrite that. Eric Mortimer Cartman. Awesome. But it feels a bit more in that lines because it was Theodore. Like, I feel like
close. Damn. Okay, you get a half point for that.
Yeah, I feel like that has
jokes.
Okay, full disclosure, I haven't been keeping points. We were just having fun.
All right. That's fine.
We're all winning today.
Right.
I can go back and remember points in all fairness.
All right. I think we're gonna have 1 point. It's only Ryan has 1 point. Right.
Yeah, Ryan only has a point now. Okay. Who is the pink starfish in SpongeBob SquarePants?
Patrick Starfish.
Patrick Starfish is correct and even more precise.
Damn. 2 points for the last name too. Shit. Go ahead. I'm all giving points. Go ahead.
You're not taskmaster. You're not game master here. You can't just be giving out points. Give yourself some points. Maybe
I know.
try.
All right, Gina. Next one, I got it.
In the Fairy Odd Parents, what are the names of Timmy's fairy godparents?
Oh my god.
Oh man, and I used to watch this show. Oh, that's killer.
There, it looks like.
No,
your
I just know the show from. I don't think I've ever sit to watch not one episode. I walked by the TV while the children were watching it. I've never sat to watch it. It just seemed like a weird show.
A whole hip hop song off of this.
Is one of them Eric?
No.
Okay, and Mary is not Mary. The girl one.
It's not Eric and
oh my gosh! No, I'm spacing on that.
But speaking of space, it's Cosmo and Wanda.
Oh shit!
Also, it's been a minute since I've seen that one. That's good.
Awesome. And some of these I'm kind of skipping through because I'm just like, I don't think it's not even. Let's try this one because they did revamp this one at one show. In My Little Pony, friendship is magic. First of all, Pharaoh, why is your head in your hands? You heard the beginning. You're like, I'm out.
Okay, no, go ahead. I might surprise myself. Okay.
In My Little Pony, friendship is magic. Who is the ruler of Equestria?
Oh my gosh.
That's Sparkle,
it's like Queen. Oh no, I don't remember. It's Queen something though. She's like Queen. Oh wait. Queen Star Magic?
No, it's Princess though.
Oh, okay, no.
It's Princess Celestia.
Celestia?
Yeah.
I should have called Nzinga. She would have known. She'd be like, Dad, come on.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna buff me in the head for that one when she
hears this. We both lost twice. Our daughters are both gonna be like, you guys are losers.
Like, where you been?
Well, now this one you both should know. Who is the main antagonist in The Beauty and the Beast?
Gaston or something?
It's Gaston.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah, I remember it was a French name. Gaston. Yeah. I think Ryan is still up. I think because Ryan got SpongeBob.
All right. First one to answer wins this one.
Okay.
Not this one, this question. In the Smurfs, what color are the Smurfs?
Blue.
Very quick. I mean, that was an easy one. I just
Smurf blue, actually. Smurf blue.
Mother.
If you want to get the pink, you have to go ask for it proper.
Yeah, Smurf blue.
All right. So I'm gonna give you guys two more. What is the name of the city in Batman the Animated Series?
Gotham?
Gotham City.
Gotham City is the correct answer.
Oh my God. Fine.
No, I'm sorry. With softballs, I expect clear and
Gotham City. You're right. I just say Gotham. I just figured we all knew what we were talking about.
No, because there's Gotham Asylum.
You're right. Facts.
Yes.
Facts. Okay.
All right. Jokes. Final question. In Dexter's laboratory, what is the name of Dexter's sister?
Dee
Dee?
It's Dee Dee, yes.
Dee Dee, yes. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I knew. I said Phoebe. All right, I knew it was.
Phoebe? Ryan, you killed it. You killed cartoon trivia, and I must say, I am doing cartoon trivia as a special request from Pharaoh. So shout out to you for
the 90s baby. You gotta shine.
There you have
that
it.
Was after school YTV.
Absolutely. And Dexter used to say his sister's name, so Dee Dee. Dee Dee. Always so weird.
Get out of my laboratory.
Ask me where Dexter got that accent. No one spoke like that.
Yeah. None of his parents.
At all. Well, I grind, you grind, and sometimes we need to ungrind together. That's Ungrind My Gears with Gina the Great. We'd like to thank our special guests. This episode is possible thanks to the awesome people at CKUT, the OFC, Drew in the Stew, and the Caribbean Curry House. Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, I'll let Ryan go first.
Ryan, give
definitely shout out to the family, wife Cher, and the kids Jasmine and Christian, and the team at ACBN, the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. Always want to thank them for allowing us to do what we do. And for Detailing Nights, that team that is slowly growing. So we're looking at, mega expansion next year. So shout out to all the teams that make the machine work.
Awesome. Farah, is your shout out a whole other segment? Should I go first or?
I
think you agreed that I would go and then you would end. Okay, yes.
Yeah, good.
I remember that because,
It becomes a sermon sometimes. I have so many things to give thanks for.
I wanna shout out my cousin Marie Andre, aka Monday, who hosted us in New York this weekend and hosted a whole lot of us. It was, when so many Haitians get together, it gets a little loud. Shout out to the team, no sleep that weekend, but just again, shout out to her because not only is she supporting her own children, but she's also adopted 2 other children and also another nephew too. So she's really doing the work out there as, and I know we want to step away from this whole strong Black woman thing. Because sometimes when you think you're too strong, you don't need any help, and I think she does need. She should have that help and that support that she has. So shout out to her for doing it and continuously doing it, and just like from the heart, right, without any expectations of receiving anything from that. And shout out to her for her patience too, because even though she does all that, it's still a lot of boys, and they're and this goes out to you guys. You know who you are. Clean up after yourself. Give her a little bit of a break, please. Okay.
These are your cousins? Is it more cousins?
Children, yeah. Okay.
Using the radio, letting your cousins know what time it is. That's
yeah. 100%. Y'all are adults. Okay, you're in your 20s, and there ain't no maids and there ain't no nothing like. She's done a lot for all that, and I know that sometimes when you do that, it cushions life a little bit for these children, and I think children deserve to be in healthy environments. But don't forget to do your part, because you do have a part in that too. So clean up after yourself. Wash that bathroom. You're the only ones who use it. Come on.
Oh my goodness. Can I?
Anyway, shout out to Monday.
I love that.
That's a PSA for today.
100%.
So on my side, obviously always just giving thanks to life. Thanks to the family as usual. Huge thanks to Ryan for being on the show today and just for just the awesome things that he's just doing for community there. To all OFC members, a reminder, so next week Ryan will be in town with us, so you want to connect ASAP. Reach out to the OFC if you haven't secured your passes and stuff. Remember, your membership cards are coming out. Please go onto your profiles, update your addresses to do us a favor so that we're shipping the cards to the right location. Remember, we have the next week. Is this next week? Yeah, it's going to be next week when you guys hear this. So we have the Montreal World Carnival that's going to be happening. So that's on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. It's an online event, so you guys don't miss that. Shout out to, I feel there's another really important thing I wanted to remember. Our event, these things. No. That was it. I just wanted to remind everybody, be positive, send that love, be the example that you want to see in the world. Peace and blessings.
Kings and Queens, this was the OFC Podcast Radio with Pharaoh Hammond Freeman, Queen Kaya, and myself, Gina the Great. We're on every Thursday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Stay blessed and highly favored.
OFC Podcast Radio.